My ex and I divorced 3 years ago. She was cheating, but at this point I don't care about the relationship anymore. The pending lawsuit has nothing to do with her or him, but rather their actions. My ex and I have a son 13 meters that we split time with 50-50. He's a great kid that interests have changed a lot, to be honest, as I imagine more kids/teenagers tend to do through the years. One thing my son was heavily into at some point was Legos. He used to play with them all the time, and personally I think they're a great toy for different reasons. I used to love playing them with him, and to this day I still collect boxes that I leave unopened as a collection. Well, when my ex and I divorced, she got with someone who loved Legos more, I guess. From what I know, he loves making creations and building the sets in. I don't care. Seems cool. He does one thing I think is very, very weird. He uses crazy glue so the sets can't break or pieces can't be lost. It seems so weird to me. The issue is, I was out of town for all of 3 days last week for medical reasons, and my son wanted to get his PS4 so he could play it at his mom's. This isn't out of the ordinary at all, and he has a key, so he let me know he would be stopping over for it. I told him to have fun when I saw him on the entry camera. My wife's husband was with him, which was a no-no. I told him via speaker to not go in and to wait on the porch. He flinched but walked in anyway. I sent my ex a text telling her to call him and tell him he's 1 minute away from a cop call. He left my home with a bag in hand, which I didn't think much of because my son had his games too. Well, my son texted me later that evening and said he didn't know it at the time, but he's pretty sure SD took some of my sets. These are all old sets and 2 are worth big money. When I got home I confirmed the missing sets and called my ex. She had no idea, but he admired he took them, but it was so son could have the sets to complete his collection. My son doesn't even like Legos anymore and told his mom he wouldn't steal from me. My wife asked how much it would cost to replace them, and unfortunately it's more than their savings. Actually, it would take their house down payment plus more. I told them if they didn't pay in 2 weeks I was suing and pressing charges. The price in the sets makes it a felony. My ex and her husband are saving for a house which would give my son more space when he's there, but those sets were going to help pay for his education someday or a home of his own. I filed the police report and have talked to a lawyer, and we're moving forward with the suit. Everyone is calling me a joke because they are just toys, but I don't get it. They are worth real money. I'm not a rich guy. I needed those to help with my son's future. But again, taking this money does deny my son things at his mom's house. Am I the idiot here? Edit. I've been asked to add these facts. The sets have been opened, which more than half their worth, and one was glued together. The damage was done already. The stolen items are King's Castle, Milk Truck, Legoland Train Carousel, and the glued one was a Star Wars Snow Speeder. Some of these are one piece of a larger set. So if you lose one of 5, you lose the value of one product plus the value of the set as a whole. Second edit. Ex-wife and boyfriend are the same as ex-boyfriend. I'm just a bad writer. Third edit. I know I haven't been here much, but I have read many of your comments and taken them to heart. I know my spelling is poor, guys, and I apologize for the format. Calling me names in my private message was not called for, and I am not a scalper. I enjoy buying these sets and do not intend to sell all of them, but I want my son to go to college and not worry about debt, so I want to sell the ones that I can to help. I never had the smarts for higher education, but my son is not me, and I love him and want him to do better. Around 4 p.m. I called the local state police and met at their facility. I gave them all I had and gave my statement. My son is with me starting tonight, so when I picked him up I sent him into GameStop and called his mom. I told her I had filed charges and I asked the cop to call me when everything was done so I could give him the opportunity to turn himself in. I wanted to be better than he treated me. I told my son when we got home what I did and why. My son said that I did the right thing because he didn't want his stepdad to think it was okay to do it again, and if he didn't go to jail he'd rather be away from him so it isn't weird. Not the idiot replace Legos with jewelry and everyone would call it a felony. That's exactly what he did. He robbed you and should face the consequences. As you point out, these actions have consequences beyond just the Legos. They were going to help fund your son's education. Make sure your son knows why you are doing this in case his mom tries to twist the story. As for denying things at his mom's house, it might be a good idea to deny him the crappy role model his stepdad seems to be. Not the idiot, but that's easy to say when I'm not the one being sued and I don't know the people personally. I think it's a good idea to sue not just because of the money but because it sets a very clear boundary, and that's sometimes what people like this need. And they are going to be in your life forever. I don't care that it's just toys, and neither will a judge. Oh, and they are both definitely idiots. For going into your house when you set a boundary and then stealing from you. What the hell? You had an unopened king's castle? That is so awesome. Anyway, not the idiot at all here. Although it might hurt your son for not having a house, they still need to pay for their actions. The idiot can't even say he didn't explicitly tell me not to go inside, because you even did that. I would try to only sue him, if that's even possible, because he's the idiot who stole your stuff. Also, he just kinda deserves it. Last weekend I went to a casino for one of my old friend's birthday. It's a weekend thing, we stay Friday night through Sunday morning. So Saturday night, our last night at the casino, I'm down $200 because my friends don't let me stop gambling until they're ready to stop gambling. I just want to lock my wallet in a safe at this point and leave the casino, but we've got this dinner at a fancy restaurant booked and then reservations at a nightclub VIP thing after. I just got the side salad and a water at dinner because I can't afford any of this. Then we go to the nightclub and I just get water again. My friend says, "Why are you getting water here?" I say I'm just gonna stay on the cheap for the rest of the night because money is tight now. He says, "Hey, don't worry about it." I say, "Really?" And he says again, "Yeah, don't worry about it." I assume this phrase, when said in this context, means I'm buying your next drink. So I order my favorite cocktail, tell the bartender to put it on my friend's tab, and go back to the dance floor. When the end of the night came and we were closing out our tabs, my one drink was on my friend's tab. He told the bartender there was a mistake because he didn't order that. I reminded him that he said he was buying it for me. He said, "I never said that. I just told you not to worry about it. Like, we're on vacation. Life is short. Don't worry about stuff like that." At this point I'm a little pissed because I would normally never buy that drink at that price given the current situation I'm in. The only reason I didn't get water or soda was because I thought my friend was offering to paying for it. We got into a small argument there in the bar, but I dropped it because it was his birthday. Days later he's still joking about it in the group chat like, "I can't believe you thought I was buying your drink," and I keep telling him it's an idiot move to say what he said without realizing that most people mean that phrase to mean they're paying for it. My friend group is weirdly split. People who knew about it that night seem to side with me, but people who found out later on are siding with my friend and saying I shouldn't be putting drinks on other people's tabs unless I'm 100% they're okay with that. Am I the idiot? Edit. We were there from Friday night until Sunday morning and the plan was to play blackjack and games like that most of the time we were there. Within a couple hours of showing up, I'm up about $100 from when I walked in, and I was content with that because it would have paid for my split of the hotel room. My friends then all started giving me crap for cashing out so early. The comment that got me was from a different friend was, "Why would you even come on a casino weekend if you're going to stop playing on the first night? What are you even going to do for the next 2 days?" And everyone seemed to agree with that statement, so I went and got more chips to avoid bringing people down at what is supposed to be a celebration. Not the idiot. 1. The way you have written it, I also would have assumed we will cover it. More of a miscommunication maybe than anything. It could have been taken either way. But saying that, 2, either, you need to learn some self-control and stand up for yourself. If you don't want to gamble, just don't gamble. I go to casinos, sometimes just to get a drink. The ones near me are quite fancy and serve alcohol 24/7 and have live music, etc. In fact, I used to go with gambling friends, but I never wanted to gamble myself. Just say you are still having fun watching them play, grab a drink and chill. Or if they are still insisting you play with them and are judging you for not gambling, get new friends, because they are the idiots. 3, they seem like idiots anyway. Making fun of people in a sticky financial situation is not cool. A good friend would have either just covered it, or at the very least, apologized for the miscommunication and left it at that, not go, "I can't believe you thought I was buying your drink." You are the idiot all the way. Even if you didn't totally misinterpret your friend's comment, it's pretty selfish and entitled of you to purposely order a super expensive drink that you normally wouldn't buy yourself just because you mistakenly thought he was covering your tab. That alone makes you the idiot. Also, it's not your friend's responsibility to stop you from gambling. It's entirely your responsibility to manage your own money. Everyone's the idiot here. Your friend was 100% out of line for saying don't worry about it. I would say that to someone if I was going to buy, but I wouldn't be happy if someone took that and ordered a very expensive drink. I am editing this. I just saw the drink was $9. OP, shouldn't have assumed, as they know the person better than we do, and someone who would cause a server to have to adjust a bill over a $9? Sorry, this is crazy? OP, is your friend always this cheap and petty? If so, you had to have an idea about this. If not, I am sorry. So and I have a daughter together and he has a daughter with someone else. Admittedly, he has a strained co-parenting relationship with the mom. She is 5 and I picked her up to visit this morning. So Doesnt Drive. We had a great day together and had plans to go for dinner. He called the mother and said we had reservations at 6 and she could pick her up after. We had some very mild snow in the area today, and the mother asked my so if he could bring her home instead because she wasn't comfortable driving. He told her yes, without even asking me. I too am uncomfortable driving when the weather is less than desirable, and not to mention, I had already driven half an hour there and half an hour back to pick her up this morning. Plus, driven us all around the city in the afternoon having fun with the kids. So he tells me that I'm now driving her home, to which I say no? Why can't her mother pick her up? And he says she doesn't want to drive in the snow. So I say, well, what about me? You know I don't like driving in this either, plus I already picked her up and you didn't even ask me. So blows a head gasket in front of the kids, and starts losing his mind on me, telling me I'm being irrational and that I'm ruining everything. He also had some colorful word choices for me. I packed up both kids in the car, and drove my stepdaughter home on that moment because I didn't want her to be involved in seeing her father treating me that way. She was upset and scared and told her mother she doesn't want to ever come back to my house. The mom isn't upset with me, but my so is now accusing me of making his access to his child even more strained. I told him he needs to be considerate of other people and stop making plans for others when he doesn't have a license, and that he should be asking me to do things instead of just assuming I'll play taxi driver. So am I the idiot? Update, So's parents think I'm a total idiot. They said I should have just kept quiet and dealt with it the following day instead of standing my ground, and that I should have cut So some slack. So, let's see. 1. So lost his license for a DUI, got a 3-year suspension, even though a first offense is usually a year, which you didn't seem to find odd, and makes you drive him everywhere. 2. So got a girl pregnant while you were on a break/broken up, and for some reason you got back together and are now taking care of this child on his days. 3. So, without asking you, agrees for you to drive his child back to the mother in inclement weather. 4. When you object, So blows a head gasket and starts screaming at you in front of the children using what I'm guessing would be swear words, which frightens the 5-year-old so badly that she tells her mother that she never wants to back to your house. You've not mentioned anything about this, but is this guy employed? If so, are you expected to shuttle him back and forth to work as well? What exactly is he bringing into this relationship besides more work for you and verbal abuse? Not the idiot for this, but you are the idiot big time for keeping this guy around. Dear OP, you just validated his aggressive behavior in front of the girls. They have learned that if you blow a head gasket, etc., you'll get what you want. I know you meant well, and you're not the idiot, but please take this into account. This is one of the many ways violence cycles perpetuate themselves. The more civilized party bends and caves to maintain peace, and the abusive partner reinforces their behavior. Setting a good example for the girls would be to calmly call out his behavior, demand to act respectfully if he wanted to be listened to, and show that you won't cave to tantrums. Not the idiot. Notice stepdaughter's mom didn't blame you because she knows what your so is. She probably feels sorry for you. You're so scared his daughter to the point that she doesn't want to go back. That's your life now. Do you want your own children to feel that way? This is more than driving in the snow. He needs anger management. Don't allow him to behave that way to you alone or in front of the kids. If he is always abusive, you need to take the kids and leave. He didn't mind you risking everybody in the car in the snow and seemingly didn't ride with you. And does he not drive because he can't, or is it because he lost his license? My 26 wedding is on a Sunday and my family/guests are staying in a hotel 10 minutes from the venue Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have guests flying in from multiple countries/states, so this way we can all spend time together during the days leading up to the wedding. My parents got a suite where they will be in one bedroom and myself and two sisters, 15 and 24, will be in the other bedroom. My sister invited her boyfriend, 24, to stay in our bedroom with her. Her reasoning is that she wants him to meet/spend time with our family who is flying in and doesn't want him to have to commute between his parents' house and the hotel every day. It's 50 minutes. I don't really feel comfortable sharing a bedroom/bathroom with her boyfriend, especially the night before my wedding. I kind of wanted it to just be a special night with my siblings, and also it's just weird. My fiancé will be driving from his parents' house to the hotel each day to hang out with the out-of-town family? Would I be the idiot for telling her I don't feel comfortable with him staying in what is essentially my bridal suite the night before/leading up to my wedding? Not the idiot. This is your bridal suite. I would not feel comfortable either, and not just because this was meant to be bonding time with your sisters. Your sister invited someone to share a room with you and your other sister without asking. Even if that someone is her boyfriend, that is not okay. I'm having trouble understanding how your mom is upset with you for not liking this idea. Are you supposed to like having a man in an otherwise girls-only space? Is it that you're supposed to be okay with having an uninvited guest in your bridal suite? Your sister needs to understand that if she wants to share a room with her boyfriend, she needs to rent a room with her boyfriend. Not the idiot. This is an incredibly inappropriate question. There is no reason a 24-year-old man needs to sleep in a room with a minor and another woman who doesn't want him there. Putting a man's needs over theirs is the height of misogyny. And, the only reason anyone is there is because of your wedding. If you sleep at your fiancé's house, don't leave your little sister behind. JFC, all of this is so unfair to her as well. Not the idiot. You're uncomfortable with it, it's your wedding, end of discussion. Or it should be. How does your 15-year-old sister feel about this? If all of you were okay with him staying, then fine, I see no problem, but you should never be forced to share a room with someone you're not comfortable with. There's a possibility that you can ask the hotel to remove him if it should come to it, depending on who paid for the room. Is it a joint suite with a shared living room? He could sleep on the couch.